Hello everybody at Enchanted Emerald. This is Melissa bringing you your monthly reading for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising, February 2022. As we get started here, as always, I use the traditional Rider-Waite deck. That's my go-to deck for my readings. If you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do not hesitate to do so as you hit that subscribe button below. You will be notified of all of the new and amazing content as it is released. So stepping into your energy here, Cancer, for the month of February, I'm really feeling as though there is some stagnation. A feeling here, like you're feeling a little bit stuck. There could be a potential to really need to do some grounding, right? To really work on some root chakra stuff. Maybe get some healing in this month. Get outside, spend some time in nature, work with some crystals. Work with some good affirmations, doing some yoga, and connecting overall, of course, with that earth element, okay? That will really be beneficial for you as you move into the energy here this month. A hematite is a very good crystal probably for you to be working with, okay? So we step into the 1st through the 5th. We have the Temperance Card, and that comes out with the Hermit and the Death card. Now, the Hermit and the Death card, they actually came out together, right? So really thinking that you're going to be taking some time to look inward and really see which parts of yourself are no longer resonating. Things that are coming up that really need to be let go of, transformed. Because you can see in the back of that Death card, this is really indicating, yeah, it could be, a death, of like older feelings, things that need to move out. But you can see in the back of that card there is a sun shining. So letting that light in to illuminate those dark parts, that shadow self of you, and integrating it. And that's really what this whole month is going to be about for you, Cancer. And rounding up the week, of course, we have we have lots of cards that came out for this week for you. The Page of Pentacles was accompanied with the Sun. So really, by the end of the week, feeling yourself, really feeling like, yes, and I can do this, and I can do it all by myself. And so I really love that energy that comes in with this for you. So I do feel like you might even catch yourself throughout the week feeling like I feel like I can hear somebody saying, like, that's the old me, or that was the old me. Right? Like, I feel like you've changed so much, right? As you've done your inner work, you've done some of the shadow work, you've confronted the old parts of you that you had buried within you that you didn't really want to confront, but now you did that work, and now, you are like stepping into a newer energy, and it has a potential here for really, really big, good energy. Again, like I hear that Beyonce song that like feeling myself. Or it's like Beyonce and Nicki Minaj, I think it was both of them, like it's a vibe, right? And so I feel like you could feel like you're at a crossroads in your life, right? Where, you could be making some really important decisions in your life at this time. Like, I hear even like this whole like to be or not to be type of quote. And now I think traditionally when you look at that in, this whole Shakespearean type vibe, that was like life and death, pondering like life and death. So I feel like what this is, it's attesting to like what moves you, what fills your cup, what makes you feel alive, right? And so that is embracing that like whole newer version of you. What fuels you, what makes you feel great, what brings you great joy, and you're really emphasizing that, and you're prioritizing that as you step into this energy, right? And I do feel like when you were doing that shadow work, you might have allowed yourself to take that step back with that Hermit card, right? Allowed yourself to take that step back and to go within and to really allow yourself some time and space to get to the bottom of like, why do I feel uncomfortable with certain situations, or why do I feel I don't know, just generally yucky, right? When I'm around certain people, right? Because they might trigger you. And so you really allowed yourself some time to like work these things out for yourself. And, you know, I feel like you've traveled to like the darkest alleys of your mind and the darkest alleys of your soul. And so now coming on the other side of this, you like really earned your wings. You are coming out of this chrysalis and transforming into this beautiful butterfly, and you really earned your wings there, okay? And so, you know, I feel like you are lighter now. You feel much lighter, right? And so you're able to fly and move through things very easily and effortlessly. And so I feel like as you navigate life now, you might be able to, you know, more easily and quickly change the dynamic of things and move into new and different situations, or change your mind and feel okay with changing your mind and not second guess yourself about it. You know, I feel like you might feel like, man, if I can do that, I can do anything. And it's the truth. Like, confronting some of those shadow parts of ourselves, that can be some of the hardest things that we have to do. Now, I will tell you that it doesn't just happen one time, right? Like those dark nights of the soul, like you'll get deeper and deeper revelations, almost like peeling an onion, right? Where it keeps coming back and you get deeper truths and deeper meanings with these lessons as they keep showing up and you integrate more and more. And so those dark nights of the soul and confronting that shadow self of yours, so those wounds, those hurts that still exist within you, right, can resurface in a different, you know, form in the future in different situations or scenarios. It may not hurt as bad, right? And you might see things differently because you've grown, so you might have a different perspective on it, and you might get a new epiphany from that, right? And then have to retreat and, you know, reintegrate newer, you know, lessons with that. So it doesn't just stop after you do that one time, unfortunately. We have to keep growing with that, okay? But I do feel like, you know, you're in a space where you are really very, very grateful. I feel like this has been like a battle of your will, you know, so to speak. I feel like you have been almost pinned down to it, where you didn't really have a choice, but you were very much inclined to push yourself. Like, I know I can do this. I'm going to do this. You created a way for yourself where there wasn't a way, maybe, and now you're feeling on the other side of this now just so grateful for everything. And I'm getting so many chills with that. So this is just such great validation. You know, you're just so grateful for everything that is showing up for you, and you know, for all of the financial blessings that might be coming in any way, shape, or form, or your friends and their support, and just all of the things that are just lighting up your life right now. And so it's a beautiful space to manifest. It's a beautiful space to sit in, to reflect, and to be proud of yourself for what you've gone through and what you've done, all the work that you've done. Okay, so I'm proud of you. So moving into the 6th through the 12th, we have the 3 of Wands. And now, interesting, this is so weird. So maybe you have Aquarius aspects, but the same set of cards, the same exact set in the same exact order, and I've shuffled these things, let me tell you, came up for Aquarius, but they came out like in a different week for Aquarius, and it's meaning something different, obviously, for you as well, you know, for you, Cancer. So it's the World card with the 8 of Pentacles with the Devil, okay? So with this, I'm really feeling like there is a situation in which you are striving, like you are really putting in a lot of effort and energy into making sure that this is working out, or that it's, you know, working to the best of your ability, okay? You're really putting a lot of energy into it, though. And I feel like you're really tired. And I really feel like you might want to just give up on trying, on that project, on that situation, on the relationship, whatever that is, however that resonates for you. Now, I feel like like just when you want to give up, that's when you need to push the most, okay? Because I feel like when you want to give up, you might, start telling yourself a story like this ego mind story of like, hey, this is never going to work. And then you might get caught up in that, right? And you might start to believe that. And then you might give up. Maybe this has happened to you before, because I feel like this is a pattern, okay? And so you revert back to old behaviors, old patterns, right? And so I feel like if you were to keep pushing past that, challenge those thoughts as they arise, reaffirm that you are worthy of this, reaffirm that you can do this, reaffirm that it is going to work. It's always working out. Everything always works out for me. Reaffirm those things through all of that and keep pushing yourself, that you will see amazing things on the other side of that. With that World card, like, success is right on the other side of that. If it's like opening a door and seeing what you've been waiting for this whole time, you just have to put the effort into turning the knob and opening that door. And so keep pushing yourself. I feel like you could come up with some really compelling arguments as to why not to do the work, why not to, keep putting the effort in, because in the past it's not worked out, so many times or whatever. But if you're doing that, then you're just in essence giving yourself permission to give up and to revert back to those old patterns and behaviors. That's staying in our comfort zone. That's staying stagnant. That's staying stuck. This is exactly what you're trying to overcome, right? And so understand that everything that's happening is when you are striving so hard and you're putting in all of that energy, there's a lot of control that you're trying to put onto that, right? So we have to lean in, we have to really surrender, we have to have faith and understand that this is just a temporary situation. It's a temporary setback, it's a temporary feeling. Feelings are temporary, feelings are transient. And so being mindful of that can help you to overcome that and push past that, push through that, because really beautiful things are coming on the other side of that. So that's something to be mindful of as you work through that this week. Okay, moving into the 13th through the 19th, we have the 10 of Pentacles for you, accompanied with the 5 of Cups, feeling a little bit remorseful, regretful, looking at the past, right? With the 9 of Swords, feeling a little ambivalent maybe, anxious, and then the Chariot ushering in something new. So, with this, I'm really feeling like, Cancer, you are maybe a little bit apprehensive about things, and, you have a tendency possibly to lose yourself when you're working on projects, right? You have a tendency to put your all into it, and then you have a certain expectation of an outcome with that. And so maybe you're not open to what's really showing up for you. You are maybe having some regrets, comparing it to, in the past it's shown up this way. Or maybe looking back on the past and saying, man, if it was just, if I could just go back in time and it was a time when I had this, and so then you get caught up in that emotion. And when you're so focused on the past, you can't be present. You can't be open to these new opportunities that are showing up. And when these new opportunities show up, you can't project this expectation onto it, right? It's a new opportunity. That's just that, okay? So maybe you've set these plans into motion, you've planted these seeds of intention, and now they're sprouting, and you're like, oh, geez, you little sprout. You didn't even give me any corn yet. My harvest isn't even here. Like, I'm so frustrated with you. Why? If it was just last fall, I would have some corn right now, right? And so when you listen to that, you can see that sounds rather silly, right? But if you were like in the moment, you get lost in that. And so that's where you tend to be sometimes, Cancer. You can get a little lost in that. So understanding that when you go to work every day, right? Maybe you're feeling a little trapped with your 9 to 5. Maybe feeling like, gosh, I am so overwhelmed with this whole, like, every day is the same old, right? And, you're feeling like, I don't necessarily feel like this is for me. I don't want to keep doing the same things all the time. And so understand that you can start to build new things and move into new things, new energies, and invite in new opportunities while you're still doing that 9 to 5. But you can't be focused on that 9 to 5, right? You have to be focused on this new opportunity while you're still going and doing the same old routines. Because energy will flow where your focus goes. And so it's important to be mindful of that, right? And so you want your seed and your sprout to continue to grow. You want to continue to put your energy and effort into that. You don't want to put so much energy and effort into what the past was or what the current situation is. That's all a manifestation of what you have manifested from past experience, past thoughts, past actions, right? You're focusing on what's now going to be created. Maintain your focus, and that will grow, okay? And so with this, I feel like throughout all of this, this is where, you might have been a little bit misguided, right? And I think that we all can get lost in that sometimes, where we feel like going through these motions, going to my work from 9 to 5, this is all my way out. And so, you're getting frustrated because you're not really seeing any, any outcome from that. You're not seeing things change as a result of that. You're putting all this effort into it, but you're not really getting anything out of that. And so, and I'm not saying you're not feeling fulfilled. I'm not saying that you're not feeling like, you made a good decision, right? Because maybe back in the day, you chose your career path, you went to school and you started and you loved your job, right? Maybe your passions are growing and changing, and that's okay, because we grow, and as we experience new and different things, we also want to possibly change different paths, right? We want to get on different paths in terms of our career, just in a different way. We want to be fulfilled in a different way. We want to fill our cup in a different way. We want to see tangible results. When we put our energy into something for 8 hours a day, we want a little bit more of a result than what we are getting monetarily, right? We want to make sure that we are making money moves, right? Sometimes people will go to work and, they're still living paycheck to paycheck. And so if you aren't seeing those things, it might call for you to make a change. Or maybe you want to upgrade. You want to, get yourself into a different space and into a different home, right? And that's going to call for you to make a change in terms of a career. And so setting those intentions and focusing on that and putting your energy and effort into that. And so, I feel like with this all, it's going to require you, again, with that shadow work that you've done, to integrate now into this new energy, this new path for you, some of that shadow work that you did. So what do you feel is something that you're capable of doing? What do you feel is feasible for you? What do you feel you are worthy of? Have you healed these wounds, and is it time to move past those things? So these are questions for you to really sit with, really overcome. And so, integrating that as you challenge these ego thoughts that start coming in. Are you getting thoughts coming in that are a little bit intrusive but are filled with doubt and insecurity? Challenge those things, right? Okay, because they can still show up even if you've done your shadow work and you feel that you're worthy. You feel and you know that you're worthy, right? These things can still kind of creep in sometimes from a subconscious standpoint. And so we don't want to sit in that energy, sit in and believe those stories that come in and then allow it to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. We want to be very mindful of our thoughts, mindful of our actions, mindful of our intention, mindful of our focus, right? And so doing that, it's allowing with that chariot integration of that shadow self. Focus with your action, staying determined on the path of your choosing, and imposing your will on what it is that you're intending, and making big strides with that, So don't see things as a setback, right? When it's just a little sprout that's growing. Don't see that as a setback, but see that as the potential, right? There's so much potential that is available, possibilities that are available to you. So beautiful energy here for you, Cancer. And then moving into the last week for you, we had 5 cards. I had several cards like pop out, and then I was like, okay, Spirit, we can't have this many, and I put them back in, and then 5 more cards came out. So I just stuck with it. So we have 5 cards for the 20th through the 28th for you. We have the Knight of Swords with the Lovers card. Beautiful energy, of course, for the February reading, because we got Valentine's Day and all the good stuff. Judgment. Knight of Cups. Offer of Love. And then 6 of Wands, which is a very victorious energy, right? And so with this, I feel, there could be a potential here for someone to show up in a relationship, show up in a relationship dynamic, like I feel like dynamic duo, okay? So it may not necessarily be a romantic type relationship. This, for some Cancers out there, this could be like, a sibling relationship, or, some sort of a family dynamic that this is also attesting to. But I feel like somebody shows up and, they're very argumentative, maybe a little bit resentful. And, it's time here to, focus on, what your needs are, what your wants are, and allow yourself to express them clearly. I've shown the lemur spirit animal with this. This is very much attesting to the fact that it's time to not take things so seriously, right? Understand that we're all human. Understand that, yes, some people can be a little bit manipulative. Things can happen, and, some people can, be a little bit superficial. Understand that these are also part of their wounds. You have done some of your work now, right? Your shadow work. And so maybe this is something that they're still working through. It's not our job to judge them where they are on their journey. It's our job to meet them where they are on their journey, and meet them as non-judgmentally as possible, and be patient with them. And so, this is attesting to the fact that maybe you need to communicate with them in a very clear and definitive way what your wants, needs, expectations are in this relationship, XYZ, right? And then set boundaries as needed. And so I feel like there's a need here with this lemur as well to improve communication. And I feel like specifically when you are communicating with this person, verbals and nonverbals don't always necessarily match. I feel like as a way to avoid confrontation, maybe you or maybe even this other person sets a boundary, and then they kind of laugh about it, where they say, oh, I really don't like it when you say that, but it's okay, ha ha ha, right? No, that is them being uncomfortable setting that boundary, right? This was just a very quick off-the-cuff example. I didn't really have anything written down or anything in particular in mind, but this is an example of somebody's, maybe backtracking what they say, not being firm in what they say, and then it creates confusion in the dynamic where you might be confused, is this really what they want? Or if you said that, then that person might feel like it's still okay to do that. They didn't really mean that, right? Or maybe I'll fix it for a while, and then I can revert back to what I was doing because she doesn't really mind, or he doesn't really mind. So it's about being very clear and about making your verbals and your nonverbals match, and being productive, having a productive conversation, right, where things are not contradicting themselves, okay? And so you might have to make a decision to, set boundaries with this person, limit time with this person, that might also come up. And then I don't know exactly where this all fits in, so this might be someone's specific message, but the game Chutes and Ladders comes in, so this could give you a clue as to who it's talking about. But also this could be Chutes and Ladders, where sometimes you'll have to climb the ladder to help get yourself to a place where you're in good standing with somebody, and then they might have to also come down a notch, bring it down a notch, and slide down, right? And so maybe that's what Spirit was trying to say with that as well. So overall advice here for you, Cancer, is the High Priestess. And so with this, I want you to understand that this is about being fair, about being balanced, about bringing balance to yourself and allowing that to express itself in an external way. So your emotions will be balanced, and then bringing that also into your external physical world. And so there will be, some self-imposed limitations where you're feeling that stuck energy, where you might be telling yourself a story. You might notice where you're telling yourself a story that you can't do something, or where you feel like it's impossible for you. So you might have to start challenging some of those things. And that can help to bring balance as you start to confront some of those things. As you bring that into your external world, you might feel more peace with that, right? Because then you're starting to take action on some of these things that have kind of been clouding your judgment for a while. So then you might feel a little bit more balanced, or a little bit more like, oh, gosh, I feel like I can breathe now. I've set some, intentions. I've set some boundaries. I've set some things in motion, right? And so understand that the High Priestess shows up for you in terms of being connected, feeling connected with your intuition and your higher self. And know that you do not need anybody else's approval, right? You will know what is best for you. And so lean into the highs, lean into the lows. Understand that that's all part of that process. It will get you to where you need to be, and you will know what is true for you. And know that what works for you won't necessarily work for others. What works for others won't necessarily work for you. And so, again, allowing the process to unfold as it will unfold, much like petals on a flower. They unfold very slowly and graciously, and it takes time, and there's progress as you are patient in allowing things to transpire, but having faith that things will work out as they should, because they always do, and Spirit always has our back, okay? So beautiful message here for you, Cancer, as always. If you're interested in your own personal reading, I'd love to be able to do that for you. You can hit me up at the square site in the description box below, or you can hit me up on Facebook at Enchanted Emerald in the Messenger, or you can email me at enchantedemeraldny@gmail.com. As always, I will be back with another read for you guys again soon. If you know another Cancer that's near and dear to your heart that could benefit from hearing this message, please do share that with them. I would love to be able to spread this message far and wide, and I would really appreciate your assistance in doing so. So have a great day, and I will be back with another read for you guys again soon. Take care.